Oh no! The damage of this dude!
You chose the wrong enemy.
Stand still.
Come on, Kefka baby. Hold.
No time to say bye.
I think we got this, come on. I think we got this. Let's go! We 3-star cleared Memory of Chaos 10. Let's go, baby! Oh my god! Yo, what is up, guys? My name is Ren. Welcome to another Honkai tutorial video. Now, in today's video, I just want to showcase you guys my team, basically the team that I used for clearing MoC 10 and their respective builds, and just explain them a little bit, and that's already it. But before we hop into the topic of today's video, I just want to point you guys again to my YouTube short section, which is the content I'm currently mainly focusing on. There's a video pretty much every day, so definitely make sure to check that out. Also, with my goal of reaching 1,000 subscribers, I already opened up that Discord server, so I would highly appreciate it if you guys join. The link for that is in every description of every video, basically. It is free to join for everyone. We're currently still in the progress to make some changes here, but you can already join, of course, and hang around here. And yeah, yep, that's it. Let's go and talk about the teams that I did use for Memory of Chaos 10. So this was the team that I used for the first half. It seems like a pretty standard team. So Jingliu as my newest addition. I also wanted to say I am free to play. I just want to prove you guys. I didn't port the extra supply pass. And I also didn't port any of the top-ups, and I also don't buy the battle pass at all. So yeah, I am free to play since day one. That's why it is like a big milestone for me to clear that. I think I was able to maybe clear that before, but not to 3-star clear it. And now I was able to 3-star clear Memory of Chaos 10. I think Jingliu made it very, very easy, honestly. And besides that, if you have like this team comp, if you did pull for Jingliu, you don't have to have Bronya here. I think that if you had Pingyun in this spot, it would have be the same outcome. Because I really felt like the first half of MoC 10 was so much easier. It was like a cakewalk just because I had Jingliu. I think it was like so easy. Yeah, this was like basically the team that I had. So I did use Natasha because I didn't pull for Link. So I tried to skip Fu Xuan. Because I was a little bit scared to get her because I wanted to guarantee myself a Jingliu. Yeah, just because I wanted to start clearing MoC 3-star effectively for the rewards. Now, yeah, let's get into the build for the first team or for the first half. So as I said, I used Natasha here. The light cone that I have is her signature light cone just on super imposition 1. Look at the traces. I didn't even max the traces. The only key trace that I thought was really important was this, because it can remove a debuff, and I think that removing the debuff from the right unit, or from especially the DPS unit, and guarantee the DPS unit to attack every turn was very, very important to me. I think like I didn't saw myself investing like 1 track of Destiny. I'm very, very careful with my resources, and I didn't saw myself investing these resources just for 1% more outgoing healing, even though it would maybe make a difference, but I didn't thought that it was worth it. And the same for this, it increases the duration of skills continuous healing effect for 1 turn. I also didn't see myself investing like a boss drop and a track of Destiny for that, and that's why that was like enough. For relics, I use a pretty much standard one. I didn't even upgrade every relic, so it's a 4-piece sprightly, a 4-piece messenger traversing hacker space. I think that I don't have anything special here, so I pretty much focused like on defensive stats and maybe speed. But as you can see, like the rolls are like pretty bad. Everything rolls into affected rate, which Natasha doesn't need at all. This rolls a little bit into speed. It has HP, effect resistance. These were like the stats that I was looking out for, not for crit rate. And as you can see, it's even plus 12. Outgoing healing bonus and effect resistance were the stats. Flat HP is like, but it's still alright. and speed shoes with defensive stats like effect resistance, but all the other stats are like, again, bad. We have HP here. Important was the 2-piece Von Whack for the 5% energy regeneration, and actually we could get the advanced forward here for having her 120 speed, which we did. And for the robe, I just use HP. So I don't know. I think it was alright. Like, I didn't put that much effort into Natasha because I know that one day I won't use her anyway. So that was like the investment that I have when Natasha is idle on 3. For Jingliu, this is currently a build. I have a signature weapon, so that would make a little bit of difference. But I think I also have the Fawn of Eon, so if you would like to use this, it's also fine. I maxed out on her traces. I mostly won't recommend you guys to do it for everything if you want to save some resources usually. But I think like for Jingliu, the only thing that you could, I think there's nothing that you could left out. Even the HP you have to do, because you sucks up on the HP with first skill. The only thing that you don't need to upgrade is basic attack, because you really never ever want to use your basic attack. You always want to use your E because you need the SysG stacks. So I think to save yourself some resources, I would have definitely upgrade everything on her tree except her basic attack if you want to save yourself some resources. For her build, it's a little bit of a spicy one, but it has some reasons why I did choose this build. It's mostly because of resources, because I didn't have enough to farm relics, because I also wanted to build other units, because I wanted to get that Memory of Chaos done, and some units were still missing on relics and traces and stuff like that, and I rather wanted to invest in them first and worked with the pieces that I did already have. So this was luckily a piece that I did have before. It rolled into defense one time, so I still managed to get the 2-piece ice. And I managed to do a 2-piece max HP. This is like not the best option that you could have. I did use this piece before, but the problem with this was that I don't have like speed shoes, because Bronja is using my speed shoes, and Bronja is in the same team, so she relies on that shoes, so I couldn't swap the shoes between them. So I was looking just for another 2-piece set to fill up the gap, and yeah, it worked out quite well, and HP is like not too bad to have as a stat on Jingliu, even though there are better options, definitely. So this was like okay-ish. We have a crit damage piece with some crit rate, with a crit rate roll at least. So it could turn out a lot worse, but I was happy to have at least a crit damage, crit rate piece here. And then I did go for a speed boot that, yeah, as you can see, only has 3% crit rate, which is like the only really relevant stat here. Maybe HP, but like attack has a very early diminishing return on Jingliu because she doesn't really need attack at all. Then I have a ice damage with speed and crit damage, so this is like decently good. It of course could be a lot better because it rolls into defense and affected rate, which I do not need, but it was like fine. And for the last piece, which adds a little bit of spice, I used a energy regeneration rope, which has rolled 30% into crit rate. Like, it really only rolled into crit rate. And yeah, would I recommend energy regeneration robe? I think it was really good. It worked out really well because, like, after I got back from the spectral transmigration state, I only sometimes I was already able to have my ultimate back. And there were like just 1 or 2 turns overall during the complete Forgotten Hall thing, Memory of Chaos thing, where I have to use my E once again after that to get the ultimate back. So I think this was really, really good. Also, I chose to go for this because with this trace, you'll get 50%. And 50% plus the 29% is 79, so I have nearly 80% crit rate. And she's also always only relevant in this state, in this, how is it called? In this, you know what I mean, the spectral transmigration state. Yeah, she's only relevant in this state in terms of damage. That's why you don't really have to focus on crit rate for her. So I think it's really enough if you have like 20% crit rate. so that you can hit the threshold of the planosphere here, so that you can get to the 70%. So no, you don't even have to have 20%. You can have 12%, because this gives you 8%, and then you get 50% from your trace, and you're like at 70%. So you can basically always focus on crit damage. For speed, I think she is a little bit too high. I think I would rather sacrifice like around 9 speed and put it into crit damage, or maybe attack. But rather I would sacrifice a little bit of speed to put it into crit damage. I think 133 is a little bit too fast. I think like 134 would be enough for her. I don't want to overcap on speed on her, so I rather want to put it into crit damage. But yeah, that's like the current build that I have, just based on the resources that I had. Eidolon 0, of course, and yeah. Bronya, these are her stats. Something relevant here? I think not. I have an S5 past and future. This is the free-to-play weapon from the Forgotten Hall shop. I basically just saved up and bought that weapon. Traces everything is maxed. For Bronya, I would honestly recommend to do this, because you want to use her ultimate, you want to use her basic attack. So if you want to really min-max, you kind of have to maximize her basic attack, because a heavily invested Bronya want to have 2 attacks in one cycle. And one, you want to use her E to buff your DPS, and the other one, you want to use her basic attack to get back the skill point that you used on your DPS, so you're skill point neutral. And the basic attack basically is also good to maybe weakness break the enemy, or deal a little bit of extra damage that could help you out. And Bronya has like this, she has like this passive, where is it, that her next basic attack is always 100% crit rate. So it can do quite a little bit of damage, which why I would recommend to basically upgrade everything on her tree if you have her. For relics, basically same build as Natasha, with another focus. I focused on speed and defensive stats here again, and if it was manageable, I would add crit damage, because she scales off of crit damage, not crit rate, only crit damage, because her auto attacks are crit rate 100%. But like, I always chose speed and defensive stats, and I was okay with that. So like, I would use crit damage here, and like defensive stats here, like defense percentage. Other stats were like basically useless. It could be like HP or effect resistance, which would be a lot better. But yeah, again, I have to work with what I have. Same was this. So this shoe set was actually supposed for Jingliu, but Bronya, I wanted to have Bronya still to give her a good set, and that's why I gave her that crit damage set, because it will still buff and effect resistance, attack percentage, like all stats that she can use at least. That's why I think that this was like still the perfect choice to give my Bronya. Then attack percentage here with some defensive stats. We have speed, effect resistance, defense percentage, all good stats. It rolled once into crit rate, which is basically useless on Bronya, but it's whatever. And for the last, energy regeneration, again with defensive stats, HP, effect resistance, like very, very good. I mean, like the perfect stats for Bronya is like always effect resistance, then something defensive, attack percentage, and like crit damage or something, or speed. These are like stats that you want to basically look out for on her. And of course, she's Eidolon 0. Then for the next, the Trailblazer. I think the Trailblazer has nothing really special for me. His light cone's even level 70 on S3. Traces are like, again, whatever. I think they were like pretty cheap to upgrade. That's why I did this. And yeah, this is his set. I used a 2-piece damage reduction, 2-piece defense. Like with, again, defensive stats, defense percentage here, speed. Yeah, defense percentage, main stat. I don't even know if it's optimal. I don't know much about the Trailblazer. Or actually, I just built him like how I felt, and I focused a lot on defense percentage here. That's why he has like 3,000, nearly 3,600 defense. All right, this was team 1, and the second team that I used was this. Basically a Kafka hyper team, a Kafka team. Hybrid team with a Clara Bruiser, basically. And yeah, I think the second half was way harder. Kafka carried a lot here. But Clara did help out a lot here. So yeah, this team was really, really good, especially in the first half. The enemy doesn't have a lightning weakness, so Sampo and especially Clara have to clear this. But I think like Kefka still did decent damage. But in the second half for Yanqing, Kefka did an insanely good job. So yeah, Locha was basically here because he's skill point neutral. So we have like a skill point positive. We have a skill point positive character, not a skill point positive character because I never used Clara's E. I always only use her auto attack. Sampo is like skill point neutral, I'd say, because sometimes you use his basic attack, sometimes I use his E, and Kefka, of course, is skill point negative. You always only want to use her E, never you want to use her auto attack because she has a follow-up attack as your other characters are auto attacking, and like that team comp was really good because all of the other 3 characters did use their auto attacks. So for Locha, I think also there's nothing special. I think he could have 2 more speed. That is something that I missed. I'd like to have him on 141. But yeah, I didn't manage to get 2 speed. So I used his 4-star signature light cone, perfect timing. So you basically want to stack a little bit on effect resistance if you want to use this weapon. Again, I maxed out on everything. This is the same logic as for Bronya, even though his auto attack doesn't crit. But because he mainly or most of the time only uses his auto attack, you at least want to maximize the damage, even though it doesn't do that much, but sometimes it can finish off the enemy, and that's why I did maximize this. For relics, I used a very standard musketeer set, 2-piece Wonkwak. I think nothing too special, again, just defensive stats and attack percentage, which he scales off. Like, this was like a perfect piece here. It has every stat that he needs, and everything goes into speed. It's like really, really good. This is like okay-ish because effect hit rate, you don't need it. Speed is good, which was the main reason why I picked that at the end. But the other stats are like okay-ish. Same goes here, attack percentage. Crit damage he doesn't need at all, but HP, effect resistance are all substats that you would like to see. So make him a little bit tanky. Because he's a healer that scales off of attack percentage, you want to increase his, his longevity in the fight just by giving him defensive substats. And here is attack percentage. I don't know if I would like to move this into a speed shoe, but he's already at 139, and I only need like 2 more speed rolls, even though because this is 11, I only try to need 2 more speed rolls, like maybe like attack percentage with 4 speed and like sacrifice and crit damage would be like enough, or like any speed roll into another piece. I even run imaginary damage boost here to give him at least a decent amount of damage. I don't think this is necessary. You could go for attack percentage here. But the reason why I chose imaginary damage is I tested it live, and I thought without attack percentage, his heal is still enough, because always as my units or half-life, he always fully healed them up without having another attack percentage sphere. So I thought I'd rather increase his damage, or if you really want to, you can even give him an HP sphere, so you can increase his defensive capabilities. But I like to give him a little bit of damage, so he sometimes could finish off units. And this is energy regeneration with very bad substats. This was the one that I gave Bronya before, but yeah, because I'm a little bit biased to Bronyas, I changed the energy ropes for them. At the end, the main step is what matters. Alright, Eidolon 0, of course. And yeah, Kefka. This is my Kefka. 151 speed. My Kefka is really cracked. Says something else mentioned. 121 hit rate, effective rate. Like 28% is like the max that you want to have if you have a weapon, I think. No, even if you don't have a weapon, it's 28% max. Because she has like a lot of effective rate or guaranteed hits in her kit already involved. So signature light cone. I think Kefka has some really good alternatives for a weapon. The main reason why I back in the day pulled for her weapon was that I wanted to have the speed stacks. And yeah, I wanted to make a very fast Kefka, which was my dream. She has 3,500 attack. Really cool thing is that she doesn't rely on crit sets at all. So that's why I wanted to make a very fast Kefka just for fun. Yeah, because she's my favorite unit. Nothing much to explain. If you want to save yourself some resources, skip the basic attack. All other things I would recommend to upgrade. If you even want to save more, you can let out the max HP stats. because I don't really think she relies too much on the HP stats. But for survivability, it is kind of nice to have those. But if you really want to save resources, first let out the basic attack, then like the last HP tree, but all other things are kind of necessary. For relics, I use a very standard build right now, just a band of sizzling thunder. I like to sometimes mix it up, but yeah, currently it's what I was really looking out for was just speed and attack percentage. Sometimes it worked out. For some pieces it didn't. So this rolled at least into speed. It has attack percentage, but then it rolled into break effect, crit damage. Like break effect is still okay-ish, but I don't really want to see it. This one has attack percentage and speed. This one has speed and attack percentage as a stat, but it rolled a lot into break effect, but still fine. Lightning damage with attack percentage here. Could have speed, which would be even nicer, but I think I already overcapped on speed, so I think I'm on the perfect threshold. With the light cone, I should be like on 164 or something, or even higher, and 164 is like the last threshold that you could hit, possibly. Otherwise, I could even decrease the speed, pair with an Asta, and get to 200 speed if I want to. But yeah, I didn't have the resources to upgrade an Asta, so yeah, that's the build. Sampo, also nothing too special. I focused on attack percentage and a little bit effect hit rate, so he has nearly 100% effect hit rate. His weapon is his signature 4-star weapon on Super Imposition 5. This already increases 40% effect hit rate and the dot damage, so I think this was the perfect light cone. For Sampo, I basically did let out the effect resistance here, because yeah, I didn't want to farm or put any more resources into him, because I don't think he's that good, but I enjoy using him, so that's why I didn't want to upgrade these. But I think it is necessary to upgrade his basic attack, because I always want to use it. So once you use the E, you always want to use basic attack, because it's still a possibility to apply the dot through the basic attack. And for the relic sets, I also have nothing special here, just attack percentage, wind damage bonus. Like if we go over the stats just real quick, I don't have anything special on him. Speed shoes with effect hit rate and wind damage was maybe good here. This is really good, attack percentage, speed. This would be like perfect subsets for Kafka, but unfortunately there's a wind damage boost, so I only can use it on Sampo. And yeah, affected rate, attack percentage. So this robe is really good here. Okay, last unit is Clara, which I just built very recently. Yeah, I have the Fall of Eon on her, which I think is a very, very good. It's on S5. You get it through the Herda shop. I will increase her tree. So especially, I think this is the most important talent that you want to have, because this is her main damage source. But I would really upgrade all the trees here. I would even upgrade this, but I didn't have the resources, because she takes these destruction materials, which I farmed for Jingliu first, and now I will slowly start doing this for Clara. For the relic set, I think I chose the most obvious one. I think that for Clara, there's not much spice that you can do. You really only want to do this. This is her best 4-piece, and also this is her best 2-piece, because she want to have the follow-up attack damage bonus here. And yeah, I think some pieces rolled very well. We have like a lot of crit damage, some speed here, crit rates, crit damage, but actually, you don't really need speed on Clara, because you only want her to be attacked. Her turn is not that reliant. You only want her to be attacked, use her ultimate, and she gets attacked, and then her Svarog is doing the main damage here. I just use this to get to the crit rate thresholds, attack percentage shoes, physical damage shoes with very good crit rolls here, and attack percentage with crit damage fully rolled. So because I had that body piece, we still ended up with like these stats over 3k attack. Could be 3k HP. I wanted to have a little bit more tanky, because she was nearly dying, but yeah, it was like whatever. So yeah, that's my characters that I used for clearing Memory of Chaos 10. Hope you guys did enjoy it, and definitely make sure to subscribe to the channel if you want to see more Honkai Story content. Don't forget about the Discord server, and I see you guys next video. Bye.